Hey guys, why is being tenaciously hungry one of the core values of Tap Into Fitness Nutrition? Look forward to that in the video. Hey guys, Tom Petekavich with Tap Into Fitness Nutrition, getting together with you guys today to cover our three core values, or the pillars that we try to instill within all of our athletes, all of our members, all of our clients here at Tap Into Fitness Nutrition. What we will be going through today is the lion, and basically discussing how we desire to build tenaciously hungry individuals within Tap Into Fitness Nutrition. We're hoping that we instill a value within people that we're focused on driving and striving towards being hungry and hungrier every single day. All right, so the biggest thing as we talk about that is focusing on growth of a mindset shift and focusing on trying to change people's mindset from thinking about the world as something that's difficult, something that's a challenge. I think we all get caught up in the difficulties of life and the challenges and the obstacles that we have. And what the thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is changing our mindset to viewing those things as opportunities and focusing towards growth in that aspect. So, the one thing that I want to cover today is covering why I chose one of our core values of being the picture of the lion. Why did I choose a lion? Why did I choose a picture of something like that? And the biggest reason that I chose the lion was because when I see a lion, I don't know, just roaring and loud and just hungry for its prey and for what it's trying to reach and strive for. And really, a lion is striving for survival. And here at Tap Into Fitness, it's a little bit more than just survival. It's more about focusing towards growth above and beyond survival. And yes, it is survival. There are many aspects that we focus on as far as functionality here that help people to survive and also to thrive past just surviving. And those are things that we want to incorporate within the aspects of our training here. But the one thing that I wanted to delve into right now is just kind of covering a little bit about my past and my history, and just kind of telling you guys a little bit of how I got into fitness and telling you a little bit about myself. I don't know if you guys really know about me personally. If you don't, I've owned my own business now for about 2 years, and before that I trained for about a decade. I've had a long outstanding time in my past of not really feeling like I'm sufficient or enough for many things in my life. And I think a lot of that comes from me coming from a single parent family and basically being abandoned at the age of 2 or 3 months when I was a kid from my father. So I've basically come from a single parent family. My father left us at a very young age, and that's something that has impacted me significantly and just a huge aspect of my life. And there are a few certain things that I remember about my childhood that have affected me in that aspect. There was one time when I was a kid that I went over to my father's house to stay the night, and this is literally one of the only memories that I have of my father. And I know that I was super invested in it. I love football. So I had this Nerf football that I would literally sleep with, that I would, hold dear. And it was basically like my blankie. And as I went into his household to stay the night, he took that from me and actually threw it outside and basically called me like a baby for needing or wanting or having something like that. So the first thing that I want to talk about with that is that I really do think that words are powerful. Okay, I don't think the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I think that's completely false. Okay, I think that we as humans, that words are so huge and impactful to us. And that's why I want to make sure that on a day-by-day basis that not only you guys, but myself. We're instilling words of encouragement and words of value and making sure that you guys grow towards those. So that's why I thought for days and like really tried to contemplate why I wanted to choose this lion, why I wanted the vision of being tenaciously hungry, okay? And with that, I really want to focus on where the growth comes from that. Because I think that a lot of growth comes from us having the view of being tenaciously hungry. Okay, so coming back to my story, I could have taken that situation with my father and I could have let that change my characteristics and I could have let that change who I am. But it's funny, I don't know how or why I chose this. I chose to have football be such a huge impact into my life, and football was a huge area of change for my life specifically. The reason I chose to go into football was because I had many anger issues as a kid, and I think a lot of those stemmed from having issues with my father leaving us at a pretty early age, an onset of my childhood. But the biggest reason why I wanted to go into football was to have an outlet for my anger and have something to kind of release my frustrations, and it did just that. But in pursuing football, I chose to take on the aspect of weightlifting and weight training and getting as strong as possible, primarily because I didn't have a father around to teach me the skills of football and to teach me and help me to progress and get better like every other kid did have. I didn't have the opportunity of having somebody there to drive me, to mold me and shape me in the skill of football. So I just chose to basically get as strong as I possibly could so that when I was out there on the field that I could just demolish anybody out there. Okay, and it's funny because I was actually so small on the football team that they wanted to put me on like running back, they wanted to put me on like wide receiver, whatever else. And guess what? I just wasn't smart enough. I didn't have the skill of doing those things. So guess what? I ended up on the offensive line and the defensive line. I was probably one of the smallest offensive defensive linemen up until I was, a senior. My goal was to someday play for varsity and be a starter. And as I progressed in that, it's funny because I think the only thing that separated me was that I was so fast, that I was so strong, that I would beat most men off the blocks, or most boys, off the blocks of the starting line, and I would already be there to attack them before they would even stand all the way up. Okay, I still remember to this day, me cutting around to the back of the line and basically blitzing, and me taking out one of the offensive linemen who weighed like 360 pounds as a senior, and I just decleated him and completely knocked him over because of my speed and because of my tenacity. Okay, so that's something that I want to instill in you guys, that I want to make sure that you guys are growing and that you guys are really having the hunger and the tenacity to really driving towards those things. The things that are the best in our life are the things that are the hardest. We really want to focus towards the growth and towards the mindset shift to getting away from the fact of that we think that the easy things, the easy choices are the things that are going to get us there or show us a reward. That's wrong, guys. The things in our life that are the hardest, working out, family life, sleeping habits, and staying healthy in general, the things that are the most important, the things that can break in our lives are the things that are the hardest. And we have to focus on being tenaciously hungry every single day towards those things. All right, so next I want to kind of go into a few quotes that I have set forth for today that I just wanted to share and just kind of go a little bit in depth with as far as overall. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you guys understand why, again, I chose these core values overall. This is a one part of a 3-part series that we're going to cover, and we'll focus on those other 2 parts in later videos. But today, the goal is to basically just cover why you guys need to be tenaciously hungry and focusing on that growth on a day-by-day basis. All right, so let me grab my notes here really quick. All right, guys. So first quote that I wanted to go through today, I heard it from Will Smith today. I was actually kind of covering some videos, and one thing he talked about was that self-discipline is the essence of self-love. I'll say that again. Self-discipline is the essence of self-love. And the reason why I love that quote was because oftentimes nowadays we get in the mindset that discipline is a bad thing and it kind of has a negative connotation. That's wrong, guys. It takes discipline to do the hard things. It takes discipline to finding those aspects. So I want to really focus towards the aspect that you guys need to take care of yourself, and you need to take care and love yourself and be disciplined towards yourself to make sure that you do the hard things today and that you take care of you, okay? You need to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. And I see this so many times in a lot of my clients that they're so focused on giving towards others and really focused towards not really just taking care of themselves enough that they break down and they get hurt, and because they're not getting enough sleep, they're not eating it right, they're not taking care of themselves. So again, self-discipline equals self-love. Other quote that I wanted to go through is the guy who said that he can and the guy who said that he can't, both are usually right. That quote's from Confucius, and I use that a lot with my clients, and basically saying that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. And I find that so many Americans today, so many people that I work with, they tend to find themselves in this kind of dichotomy of wanting to change, but not thinking that they can do it. Okay? I need, as you guys start in things, to be focused towards, I can do this. I can achieve these goals. Because if you don't think you can do it, you're probably right, okay? If you don't think you can do it, it's probably a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you're probably not gonna see the results that you are hoping that you achieve. I've seen it time and time again, people beat themselves down, and it's more verbally, and it's something that I work on with a lot of my clients, of being better with their self-talk. Because if you're talking out loud and saying that you're an idiot, you're talking out loud that you're saying, I'm fat, I'm overweight, I'm out of shape. Well, okay, that's probably obvious if you're coming in to work with a trainer. I don't think we need to dwell on those aspects. What I'd like to do and instill in you guys is there's probably like 5%, 10% of this tenaciously hungry lion, and we need to build on that. We need to build that other 90 and 95% and not be focused on the 90% bad. Yeah, you're probably lazy. Guess what? I am too. I find that part of me living and breathing day by day, and every day I have to beat it down. And I have to tell myself, no, it's more important for me to work out. It's more important for me to stay up late to take care of my son and my wife. It's more important for me not to eat so that my wife can eat and I can take care of my son and I can do the things that are really important in my life. Okay? Next thing I wanted to cover is that people tend to overlook the amount of times that failure is in life in order to achieve success. Okay, Thomas Edison conducted over 1,000 experiments before he finally got to the point of that one experiment that basically made his name the name it is today. Okay, I can't account for the amount of athletes like Michael Jordan and whoever else that they talk about the amount of shots that they had to take to achieve the excellence that they achieved. Okay, it's not doing things right the first time. If it's worth doing wrong right away. Okay, but the goal is the quest to perfection. It is not perfection. I see it time and time again in my clients that they come in and they're upset that they aren't doing things exactly like I do it or exactly like others, and they compare themselves to others. Stop comparing yourself. It takes thousands of hours in many times and many aspects to get good at certain things. And there are many things that we do here that it takes time and time again for us to get better over time. All right? So those are two of our biggest things. Now, next thing I want to do is just define what hunger and tenacity are. okay? The definition of hunger is having a strong desire or craving for something, okay? And obviously that's usually meant for food, okay? But in my clients and my athletes and the people who work out here, I am hoping that they have a strong desire and a craving to get better at life, to focus on goals and aspirations that they have, because we all have them. We all want to strive to be better, but many of us let that laziness and we let that kind of 90% bad outweigh the 10% good. And in here, we want to build that small portion into that 90% so that it's easier to make those choices on a regular basis. Guess what? It's always going to be hard. You're always going to have that inkling to want to quit, but it's better on a day-by-day basis if we build that hunger and we really focus on trying to build that as much as possible and stop focusing towards the negatives. Tenacity is the quality or the fact of being very determined. And really with that, I want to make sure that you guys stay determined on a day-by-day basis, okay? And I want you guys to be focused to being determined, and the determination of waking up early, the determination of getting the workout in, the determination of making sure that you eat the right things. Now, don't get me wrong, you will still fail, but the goal is to get up quicker, to work on getting up faster, and not focus on falling, okay? It is okay to fail, brush it off, get rid of it, and think about getting up quicker, okay? And focusing towards the growth of the next day. All right, guys, look forward in the future to our other 2 parts of this 3-part series. Today, again, covering the tenaciously hungry, and in the future, we'll be covering basically being a hopeful servant or joy-filled servant, and then also basically our bumblebee and our horse, and how those are basically looked for as far as within the work ethic that we have within our clients here. So thanks again for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you guys in the future for future videos.